And yet another example of how out of control the war on drugs has become and how dangerous it has become, not only to our liberties, but to our lives. We have Georgia drug warriors just outside of Atlanta raiding someone who is growing okra in his own yard. Yes, this is someone, a retired man, growing okra in Georgia. And he says, first thing he wakes up and hears a helicopter. He said he was scared actually at first because he didn't know what was happening. A chopper was setting very low. Then deputies show up with canines. And he said they were strapped to the gill, evidently talking about how they were fully in SWAT uniform. And their reply is, well, it looks very much like cannabis. You know, we can't really tell the difference between okra and cannabis. We're still trying to identify it. It looks very similar to a cannabis plant. But as the fellow thought about it more, he thought, you know, anything could have happened. And we have seen over and over again, poor people, rich people, white people, black people, rural, urban, inner city, people dying everywhere because of no-knock raids. And if they don't kill you when you defend your house thinking that you're being invaded, and if you kill one of them trying to defend yourself, you will find yourself like this man in Texas fighting for his life in court because he shot a sheriff's deputy in a no-knock raid. Now, maybe you should just fire warning shots. Well, even firing warning shots can get you in a lot of trouble.
I'm an avid supporter of the Second Amendment as well as self-defense rights. Somebody comes at you, you have to defend yourself. I understand that, of course. So a guy comes into your home, he comes into your business, he threatens your family, he threatens you personally. What are you going to do in that situation? Well, you may show mercy to the person. You may fire a warning shot. But just because you show mercy to the attacker, don't expect any mercy from the court system. Such is the case of a Florida father who is facing 20 years in prison for firing a warning shot against a man who is endangering his teenage daughter. The jury found the father guilty of child endangerment as well as other charges. No one was hurt by the round. Another Florida shooting that was overshadowed by the Trayvon Martin trial was that of Marissa Alexander. After being chased throughout her home by her abusive husband, Marissa fired a shot at her husband to scare him away.
I believe when he threatened to kill me, that's what he was going to do. That's exactly what he intended to do. And had I not discharged my weapon at that point, I would not be here.
But the right to self-defense doesn't extend to excessive force. Yes, you can defend yourself from somebody who's an immediate threat to you, but after that threat has passed, you can no longer assault that individual.
Ursuland is accused of shooting and killing 16-year-old Antoine Parker. Surveillance video shows Parker and a friend trying to rob the Reliance Pharmacy in South Oklahoma City last May. It also shows Ursuland fighting back by shooting Parker once initially and then coming back and shooting Parker 5 more times.
To bring you the broader spectrum of this clip, the pharmacist produces his own firearm and shoots back at the guys. He hits one of them in the face, knocking him to the ground. No issue there. The pharmacist comes back into the pharmacy. He sees the guy laying on the ground and then shoots him 5 additional times. Keeping in mind, this is the guy on the ground with a bullet in his face. You can't shoot somebody until they're dead. You can only shoot them until the point where they're no longer a threat. In closing, you do have a Second Amendment right, but be careful how you use it. Because whether it's shooting somebody until they're dead, or if you take the Joe Biden approach and issue a few warning shots, either one of these tactics could end up with you in a prison cell. You can find more reports at Infowars.com.
If you want to protect yourself, get a double-barrel shotgun. And I promise you, as I told my wife, we live in an area that's wooded and somewhat secluded. I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony here or walk out, put that double-barrel shotgun and fire 2 blasts outside the house.
In the past decade, we have witnessed unparalleled scientific discoveries in the area of health. But no one has put together a formula that focuses directly on brain health, nerve growth factors, and optimizing your cellular energy at the same time. DNA Force is one of the most expensive formulas to produce. Some of the ingredients in DNA Force are $12,000 a kilogram. We are using the coveted, patented, only American source of PQQ, CoQ10, and more. You want the best that's out there at the lowest price anywhere? Well, we're bringing you a total win-win. The ultimate value, cutting-edge, trailblazing game changer that also supports the InfoWar. We have produced a limited run of DNA Force, and it will take up to 12 weeks to produce more once we sell out. Secure your DNA Force today at InfoWarsLife.com or call toll-free 888-253-3139. DNA Force from InfoWars Life.